Meeting. Meanwhile, Florida's new school safety measure is getting some pushback. Governor Rick Scott just signed a new law raising the age to buy guns in Florida to 21. The NRA not happy about the new age restriction, and they are now suing our state. And we brought in a power panel this morning to talk more about Florida's new gun law. State Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith and political analyst Carl Jackson. Thank you both very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Amy.
All right, so Carl, I'm going to go ahead and start with you. You're there in the newsroom, but I hope that you can hear everybody in here. So talk to me first about this new measure. What are your thoughts on this new law passing in our state?
Yeah, I think it's laughable, quite frankly. I appreciate, I guess, what politicians are trying to do, but the more that I listen to this bill and what they pass, it proves to me that politicians will be politicians. They're not really concerned about the people. They're not addressing real issues. I would say for any 18 to 20-year-old that happens to be attacked, specifically a woman, if she's raped or attacked, they should sue the pants off of Governor Rick Scott and Florida legislatures. How dare these politicians impose their view, totally erase the Bill of Rights, and tell adults they don't have the right to protect themselves.
All right, well, Carlos actually voted no on the bill, but for different reasons. And Carlos, I want to allow you to sound off. Why did you vote no?
Well, I voted no because there was a poison pill provision that was crammed down our throats that would allow for the arming of some school teachers and other school personnel. In fact, the legislature even went as far as to use $67 million to fund this provision in the program, which was handwritten by the NRA. We don't even have barely $50 million in this year's budget that would fund the construction of new public school buildings or to maintain other school buildings. But to talk about the NRA lawsuit, this just kind of underscores the way that the NRA has responded to every other mass shooting, which is to act like a group of spoiled children. They're bringing forward a lawsuit on particularly the provision that raises the age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21. That is a provision that is so watered down, it's almost totally ineffective at blocking minors.
So is the representative saying
firearms.
18 to 20-year-olds don't have the right to defend themselves? Let's stop making the NRA an issue. I'm tired of these politicians talking about the NRA, talking about the money that the NRA is a lobbying group, just like Planned Parenthood and any other group. Honestly, Carlos, I'm sorry, you do not know what you're talking about. You do not know what. Listen, I'm part of the NRA, and because of this interview, I'm going to renew my membership because I'm sick and tired of politicians who don't have a clue about the NRA. The NRA power is not in money. The NRA's power is in its membership. So how dare you, politicians, say 18 to 20-year-olds do not have the right to defend their lives? That's sickening. For every one bad gun use, there's about 7,000 good gun uses daily where someone protects their lives. It's sickening what politicians are doing.
All right, so let's talk about school safety. So I'm curious, Carlos, because you don't feel like this bill actually goes far enough to protect our children. And in fact, when we were talking in the commercial break, you commented that it's really just window dressing. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, the reality is that the provision that they're suing over, raising the age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21, is totally ineffective. The reason why is because it only applies to purchases of firearms from federally licensed dealers. It does not apply to gun show purchases from unfederally licensed dealers. It doesn't apply to person-to-person sales, to private transfers, to online purchases of firearms on Craigslist, which, by the way, experts agree account for at least 1 in 5 firearm purchases that happen every day across this state and across this country. If they were serious about gun reform and gun safety laws, they should have passed universal background checks, which enjoy support from 97% of Americans. They should have passed an assault weapons ban.
What does that mean?
These are
what does that mean,
measures.
And what is an assault weapon?
Universal background checks means that every single firearm purchase that is made, whether it's private or through a federally licensed dealer, has to be submitted to a background check.
Okay.
An assault weapon would be an example like the AR-15,
once again,
the 6-hour MCX that was used at the mass shooting at Pulse at Sandy Hook.
Wait. So an assault weapon is a semi-automatic weapon? So the assault weapon is a semi...
Sir, you can't shout me down. We're trying to have a conversation
and I'm trying to get your answer because you're proving you don't know what you're talking about guns.
58% of firearm owners in Florida support an assault weapon. I've just described it to you,
so Carlos, let me ask you this.
Letting me have a conversation.
Unfortunately, I'm going to cut you off because we could probably talk about this for an hour, and I
just like to know, is an assault weapon also if I were to pull off my shoe and hit someone upside the head? Is that an assault weapon? An assault is a crime. A gun is an object.
Semi-automatic rifle.
We're not going to be able to get all the answers
A majority
today,
of Floridians support a ban on assault weapons, but the NRA is totally out of sync.
Carlos and Carl, thank you both so much, and we appreciate both of your time this morning. It is obviously a hotly contested issue in our state. Despite the law passing, we're still going to be talking about it for a long time to come. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Bob.